put it on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Do Not Disturb. Hey guys. Hello and welcome to Wednesday night here on Dixie Belle's Facebook page. Please say hello when you come on. Let me know that you're here. We are going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to do actual furniture tonight. I'm going to do a small, which I don't do very often. But it's something that's on my list of things that I need to do. And I thought, you know what, this is a great idea for Christmas because that's actually what this is for my client. So I thought I would share it with you. So welcome to Wednesday night here on Dixie Belle's Facebook main page. I am a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle. Hello, Amanda. And my name is Tracey. My business name is Tracey's Fancy. I would love if you would hop over there and give me a like and a follow. I've got my name linked at the top of this video. There's my people. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I am here every single Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, just as many brand ambassadors and content creators and retailers with Dixie Belle Paint are on pretty much every day of the week, giving tips and tricks and how to use the products and giving great ideas. And we just love getting together here. It's such a wonderful community. Hi, Lori and Tammy and Judy. They know what to do. They're saying hello. They're saying where they're tuning in from. If you will do that, if you're new to Dixie Belle is also here behind the scenes, and they will help to answer questions about anything that I'm using tonight or anything about the products in general. You can look up a retailer in your area if you go to the DixieBellePaint.com and look up under locate a retailer, and then you can find a retailer in your area. If you would like to click and order any product that you see me use tonight, I've put my link at the top of this video as well. Hi Dixie Belle, thank you for being here. Hi Debbie, hi there. Hi Tracy. Okay, so this is the deal. Y'all know that when y'all join me on Wednesday nights, I am, I don't know, a very high percentage, almost 100% of the time, working on custom orders for clients on my list of work orders. So I usually bring y'all into whatever it is that I'm working on at that time. Last week we were working on those nightstands. They're done, and I'll be posting those tomorrow on my page at Tracey's Fancy. I cannot wait to share those with y'all. All Dixie Belle products. They're amazing. I love them. And my next order was also another pair of nightstands. But I had a gumball machine that I use all Dixie Belle products on that I had completed, and I need to get it to the client. But she had a TV tray. So for those of you who follow me on my page, and y'all guessed, several of you, I only showed the top of this. Y'all guessed that it was a TV tray, and yes it is. Some of you said door hanger, but I've already, I'm going to tell you what I've primed it, what I've done to it already. It was a light pine just like this. A TV tray that my client ordered off of Amazon and had it sent directly to my house. It is for her daughter, who is a tween, not quite a teen yet. And it's a surprise, and it's for Christmas along with the gumball machine. So I was like, you know what? It's getting that time. And as a matter of fact, like Christmas orders, I'm only taking for a few more weeks, and then I'm not taking anymore. So like, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. It's way closer than most of us want it to be. Is that right? Is it true that a premier retailer can order what we need? I'd like to ask Dixie Belle if they know when brushes will be back. We just talked, Wendy, I don't know what the first part of your question means, but I'm sure Dixie Belle will answer for you. But we just talked with Dixie Belle today about the brushes, and what's happened is those brushes are handmade. Y'all know that, right? The synthetic brushes are made by hand, and they are made here in the United States. This is not because they come from China or something like that. They're made here in the U.S., and it is a man who has his own company, and he has a few people that make these brushes for him. And I think that a large part of who he has working for him was hit with COVID. The family was hit with COVID, and they got way behind, and so they're only getting small amounts of brushes in at a time. So I hope I haven't given. Yes, there we go. She's answering. Slowly being placed back into stock. Reach out to your local retailer first. Some retailers still have brushes in stock, and I'm going to be using some of those brushes tonight, but you are correct. They are all sold out. I do not have any new brushes here on my own. We don't get any as a brand ambassador, we don't get them first. The customers always get them first. So they list a few at a time and they sell out if you just happen to be lucky enough to be someone who checked the website at that time. But the little US company is getting caught up as best they can, but they are so worth the wait. They are worth the wait. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Marianne, are you kidding me? Oh, you are kidding me. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, as close as I've gotten to Christmas is that I've done some gumball machines for other people for Christmas. So this is what I've done, y'all. She had this Amazon tray sent to me from Amazon to my house. It was this light oak color or pine, like a light pine, but it's very, very slick. The underside is not, but the legs and the top surface have this factory baked on finish that is super, super slick. I personally felt it was too slick for Boss as my primer. I would have primed it, but I really felt it was too slick for Boss. I didn't really think that was going to be, I needed like super adhesion, which for when you have to use the word slick when you're describing the surface of your piece, even though this is wood, the finish that had been baked on it was high gloss, super, super slick. Yes, I could have sanded through it. I don't want the mess. It's not necessary when you have slick stick around. So this is my slick stick. This is not the jar that I use. This is a very pretty new jar. My jar is a wreck. Looks like a mess. So I used 2 coats of slick stick. I put a coat of slick stick on. I let it sit for a couple of hours. I put a second coat of slick stick on and let it dry overnight, which is exactly what the instructions tell you to do. So that's what I did. It was prepped and ready to go. Then I gave it one solid coat of fluff. This is my fluff, which is my favorite white. We have fluff. Fluff and cotton are the 2 brightest of whites of Dixie Belle that they have to offer, and cotton is like a super hard clinical white to me. Fluff is a very soft white with kind of a gray undertone. So this is fluff on here right now, 1 coat of fluff, and I've let it dry. But it's not ready to paint on top of yet because if I run my hand over it, it feels very chalky. Right? Chalk mineral paint feels very, very chalky. Oh, I forgot to ask you guys, would y'all do me a favor? Oh my gosh, Sherry. Hi, honey. Sherry, you know this is not for anyone in my family. This is for a client. Oh my gosh, Debbie, y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me. Just need the glass and the gumballs. Oh my gosh, y'all are killing me. Hi, Alicia. So anyway, this right here is a finishing sponge by Dixie Belle. Not the sanding sponge, but a finishing sponge. And what I do is between paint coats, you just take the sponge. It looks kind of like, when you look at it up close, it looks like almost like a loofah. Looks kind of like a loofah, but it's white. So it looks like, hi, Becky. Lynn, hi, hun. So I have a bunch of these. They're awesome. You don't really take the surface off. It just is sort of like you wouldn't believe the difference between the side that you run this over and the side that you don't. You don't have to put any elbow grease into it. You can go left to right to left, up and down. It doesn't matter. It just sort of breaks through that top surface that has that chalky, rough feel, and it gives you that buttery, soft feeling. So it knocks off a little bit of dust. I don't want to wet my surface right now because I'm about to use tape. And I don't want my surface to be damp at all in order to use my painter's tape. So if that's the case, you can use just a microfiber rag and it picks up all the dust. Microfiber rags are great. Picks up all the dust. Okay, so I've got slick stick, 2 coats, a coat of fluff. Now, this is what I don't know if y'all saw, but this is the little hack that I'm going to give you. I plan on customizing this. Hold on. Okay, I plan on customizing this for my client, okay, for her daughter. Years worth of little patterns that I make right here. Hello, Tony. Good evening, Sue. Did I already ask y'all to share? Will y'all push the share button? That is so helpful when y'all push the share button. That's like the biggest hug you can give us. Did y'all know that? And I also feel like this is a project that a lot of people can do. And it's super personal, which I love personal gift ideas. So this is one. And someone commented on my page today that they had a set they were just getting ready to paint. So she was looking for ideas. So anyway, when I personalize, I like to frame it out. I don't want to just paint this and then paint the girl's name on the top of it. I don't have a Cricut or anything like that. I don't have any can't make my own stencils. I hand do everything. But no matter what it is that you want to do, even if you don't want to put a name, but you want to kind of change up the top of this and do like a framed out area, you can make your own frame. And this right here, thank you, Tony. This is stacks and stacks of I call them frames, but you'll see they're patterns that I've made myself. And when I've shared these over the years, I've had people say, oh my gosh, my grandmother used to make our own dress patterns, or you could just show my grandma something and you make a pattern. Well, I do, I make patterns all the time, which is how I started making my own Harlequin diamonds. You know, when I've shown y'all for years now that I cut out my own diamond, whatever shape I needed. If I want a tiny Harlequin or a middle Harlequin or a big Harlequin, and people say, why don't you use a stencil when you do Harlequins? Well, I don't always want the same size Harlequin. I make my own diamond pattern, and then I just move my pattern across my piece. So I do the same thing with these. So look at these, y'all. I don't even remember what I made this one for. This is a long, skinny one. Oh wait, I think I do. I think this was a toy chest. So I make my own patterns, and then I save them. You see this? This is cut out of like butcher paper, or you know, what do you call this? Like, I don't even know what this brown paper is called. It's like butcher paper. Here's another one. I save them, and then when a project comes around that I think I can, this one on the front of a dresser, okay, the front of a dresser. So here was my pattern on the front of a dresser, just like this, and I save them. So here's another one, made out of cardstock, guys. I made it out of 2 different sheets of cardstock and I taped it. I mean, there's nothing fancy over here in Fancyville. I saved this stuff. I've been making these for years. Look, here's one. Oh, I know what this one's for. This one was made out of wrapping paper from Hobby Lobby. Look at it. Harlequin wrapping paper of all things. Look at this. Did y'all ever see my farmhouse nursery that I helped design, and I did a huge wooden heart that was on the wall? That was my pattern for my heart. Let's see. How about the Hello Gorgeous signs that I used to make? I made hundreds of them to go above cribs. Here's that pattern. When you saw those Hello Gorgeous signs that I painted myself and my husband built the frames for, this was the pattern. That was the inside of Hello Gorgeous. So you can do this too. So enough of that. I don't need to show you every pattern. Let's just pick one and let's get some paint going, okay? So I think that I am going to choose, I think it was this one, maybe this one. What do y'all think? That in the middle of this little tray, or how does this is a little too small. This one's too small. That's not big enough. I like this one. I think we're going to do this one. So what I do, y'all, to make these patterns, it's like making a heart in elementary school. You just fold a piece of paper in half, like that big brown paper. Imagine this was brown paper. Ignore the tape and stuff. Fold a piece of brown paper in half and then draw out your design. Or if you don't, and then cut it and then open it, and it's the same on both sides. Same thing as a snowflake. Remember, we all made the snowflakes. Another way, if you don't trust yourself to draw out evenly, fold it one more time like this. So fold it in half and then fold it in half. And then you only have to draw one design. That's it. One design, curve. Just a little curve, make a point and a point. Then when you open it, it's all completely balanced. It's exactly equal, and you use it on whatever it is you want to do. So here we're going to do this tray. So I have a pencil here. If you were doing this on dark, let's say, oh, I love that y'all are giving me hearts and thumbs up. Oh, you like my overalls? Everything is fancy in Fancyville. Y'all, Sherry's my best friend. We've been best friends since we were 2. Sherry, you know that's totally not true. My overalls are not fancy. Yay, Summer, I'm so glad you liked it. So, okay, so if my paint on the table was dark, let's say I'd used caviar first, I would put caviar down, I would put my little pattern down, and I would use chalk, which I have a piece of chalk down here. I would use chalk, but I'm not gonna be able to see chalk on my white paint. So I'm not gonna use chalk, I'm gonna use a pencil, all right? So I just eyeball it. Now, I could get a ruler out, but I don't need it. I've done this for so long. Plus, y'all know that I tell y'all that I threw perfectionism out the window a long time ago. Just wow them with your paint colors and your mixed patterns, and people are not gonna get out a ruler and measure your placement of your pattern or where your Harlequin started or anything like that. All right, so I'm just tracing my pattern. This is so elementary school, you guys. I know that I'm gonna see a lot of these. Please tell me that when you make these on for yourself, when you put them on your social media, when you share them on Facebook, please tag Dixie Belle and Tracey's Fancy. I would love it if you would do that, because then it just makes me super happy to see that I really truly have inspired someone enough to step forward into the idea, not just looking at it and go, oh, that's such a good idea, but like really do it. That makes me super, super happy. And it inspires me to keep trying to give you good ideas. So there we go. It is drawn out, and look how cute that is. So throw that pattern aside. I'm going to lift it up and show it to y'all. Looky here. See the pattern? Cute, right? Let's see. AG Designs just joined. What material is this? Okay, we just painted a TV tray. I used Slick Stick on it. I did it last night, let it dry overnight, 2 coats. And then I put a coat of fluff down and sanded it with my finishing sponge. And then I just traced out my pattern. And now we are gonna get ready to do stripes, okay? So let's get our tape out. I know that I'm gonna do the inside of this in pink, either a solid, but I also may stencil. I'm not sure yet. We'll decide that together. Way overrated, Tony. Isn't that the truth? She said perfectionism is way overrated. It absolutely is. Dawn, you're so sweet, hun. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I've got my painter's tape. And if you really want your stripes to be straight all the way across, you can go ahead and do it all the way across. I probably would not, but this is what I'm gonna do. Y'all know I always put my tape on me first. It puts a little bit of clothes lint on it and keeps it from sticking to your paint and pulling your paint out. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay this right across the points that I can see here on the middle. I'm gonna lay my tape right across those points. Now this seems like a waste of a lot of tape. And actually I'm gonna take I did paint, did y'all notice I painted over the lip? So I'm gonna take my tape over the lip as well. Now I really could lift up some of this and use that in the middle, but I'm not gonna worry about that with you guys right now. Now y'all know when we do stripes, you have your spacer pieces as well. You can just kind of lay those on. You don't have to stick them on real hard. Just lay your spacer pieces down on the top and the bottom. You can get another long piece, stick it on your body or on the floor or wherever, just like this. Oh, someone's asking about the legs. I'm not going to paint the legs. Okay, so this is my thinking on this, you guys. First of all, you know, she didn't actually specify for me to do that. Secondly, the way these things are constructed, they scissor. And not only do they scissor in the middle, but this underneath here has a little bar that runs across it like this. I just feel like that's just setting up. I could spend a lot of time top coating and doing all of that. I just feel like it's setting up for paint to be scraped off and worn off. I mean, let's get real. It is a painted piece and we have to treat them gently. And I'm just gonna leave them raw. I think it's still gonna be adorable. And also when you're storing them, you know, it's the tops of the trays that you see anyway. Okay, so I moved my spacer over, wrapping this back around my body here. You have a few sitting around. It is such a good idea, especially if you've already got paint on hand. Why not give it a try, you know? This is something you could do. You could paint your TV tray while you're sitting watching TV. You could do that. All right, so pushing that down, moving my spacer over a little bit more, just like this. Another long piece, and long enough that I can go over that lip because I'm gonna carry my stripes all the way over and around. You just tried frog tape, it's great. I like all tape. There's not a tape out there that I don't like. I like frog tape, I like 3M. It doesn't matter what tape you're using. Some of the tapes do come in a lower tack, but I still don't trust them. The best way for me to be sure is by putting it on my clothes. That's the best way for me to be sure that it's not going to stick to my paint. All right, I'm almost done with this one side, and I actually probably will only do this side with you guys, and then when this show's over here, we will move on over for anyone that wants to follow over on my page, and I can complete the other side over there. I can do it a half. I almost went straight on the table. As surface will be left naked. I know, Carol, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. I think it's gonna look okay. I think it's better to leave it naked than to paint it and have it look yuck when the scissor rubs it. You know, I don't have any control over that. So I'm just not comfortable. I'm not comfortable doing it. I'm really not. Okay, so I'll have to probably, let me see how I'm gonna do this. Just move that over the end. I have to restripe the sides myself. Okay, so next step, that's that. We've got half of it done. Now, do you see how your pattern shows through? See how you can see the pattern, the pencil, the drawing of the pencil through each stripe? We don't want to stripe across the middle, okay? So if you can't remember that, if you get all caught up in your project and you can't remember that you don't want to paint in the middle, because I'm going to leave that middle solid, get yourself some tape and block off, you know, tape off where you're going to be. So just kind of like throw some tape down there like that, just sort of like a yield sign. Do you know what I mean? Just put like a yield sign right there. See how I did that? Just enough to catch my attention to say, whoa, Tracey, don't get caught up in your stripe and forget. You don't want to take it all the way across. Could you make the bottom half of like, yes. And that's something that I might do. I just know for sure that I have my vision for the top because I've done these same sort of things on, dress up carts and toy boxes and tool chest and for girls and trunks, like camp trunks and all those kinds of things. I've done these. So I knew what I wanted the top to look like. And then I'll step back and see, maybe I could dip the legs, you know, something like that. Okay. So now I'm going to get my little art brush and, my fluff. I'm going to get my art brush and my fluff. If I had clear here, I could use clear as well. I don't need this because I'm not going to go over that. And I'm going to burnish my edges. So you just need a tiny bit of paint right on the edge. And I'm just going to burnish the edges of the tape right here. Oh, you need to make sure, guys, sorry, I forgot to tell y'all this. You need to run your hand over your tape, your finger over your tape really well and make sure that it's adhered to the table really well and then burnish. Burnishing is not a magic trick if you don't rub your tape down. You've got to rub your tape down, okay? All right, so we're gonna get this. What this does, as many of you now know, is it seals the edge of the tape. It fills the negative space. So it's going underneath where the tape edge is because no matter how great the tape says it is, paint always goes underneath, which is why you get little tiny blurbs of paint underneath. Is that a word, blurbs? Little tiny blurbs of paint underneath. I've never heard that term. Burnish. Yes, burnish. Actually, and I think I have a post coming out on Monday. The jewelry box that I just posted, that tall red jewelry box with the black and white striped top. I was like, you know, we don't talk about stripes enough anymore. I used to talk about it all the time. So I'm going to do another post and then talk about burnishing because if you're new to painting, you don't know it. You know, I forget. I assume that people have been around and been painting forever, and a lot of people are new to it. So we gotta feed everybody, you know? Okay, so I have burnished my sides. My paint has filled the negative space. My white paint has gone under the tape and filled that negative space. So because the base coat was white, you use the same color as your base coat. If our base coat had been black, I would have burnished with black. If it was pink, I would have burnished with pink. The only reason you wouldn't use your base coat is if you used a clear top coat. All right, so now you need to let that dry, and we're gonna force dry it with a heat gun because we're gonna go ahead and move on and do our stripes as well. So here we go. We are gonna turn a little bit of heat on this. It doesn't take but a second to dry because Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint is very, 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 it dries super, super fast. And usually within 20 minutes, it's completely set up and dry. And you just need this to be dry enough that when you add your black, that the white doesn't pull into your black. So this is a heat gun. If someone doesn't know, it looks like a blow dryer, except it doesn't really blow out much air. It just blows out heat. And it just literally pushes all of the moisture out of your paint. It works with glue. It works to help set up molds, all sorts of stuff like that. All right. So now do you see why I didn't want to use a wet cloth after I used that finishing sponge? I didn't want to use a wet cloth to wipe my table back because if I had, my tape wouldn't have stuck very well. All right. Off you go. All right, that's done. Now let's get our caviar. This is my favorite black. There's caviar and Midnight Sky that Dixie Belle offers. And you can do two things. You could roll if you wanted to. You could use a big brush if you wanted to. But because I have this little frame traced out here, I'm going to use an artist brush because I want to be able to have some control right on the edge up next to where that little framed area is, okay? So here we go. I've got a little bit of black right here on my brush. I'm just going to start filling this in. And I know that from the underneath side, I'm not going to be able to do my stripes right now, and that's okay. I'll go back and do this later for you guys. All right, one stripe down and done. I do not let that dry. I go ahead and pull my tape while it's still wet. But let me tell y'all a little hint here. Don't get excited and pull your tape right here because you have to get 2 stripes down. You need your tape to be there for that second stripe. So if you get a little excited, you're like, oh, I can't wait to pull that tape. You're gonna pull it out and you're like, oh crud, I can't do the other side of my stripe. All right, so I'm doing my little frame right here, the edge of it, and pulling that forward just like that. Okay, and down here on this side, same thing. And one of the reasons I lift my tape so quickly is because it's also less chance for bleed through to get in underneath. So I go ahead and just pull it up. Just like that. And here's this one. Like that. They're perfect, you guys. There's no bleed through at all. Okay, over here, same thing. Now, if you think that you're gonna forget and you're gonna paint into your frame, you could always just go ahead and trace your little pencil line out with your brush first and then go back and finish your stripes. The less paint you use, the better, because it keeps you from having a lip, like a lip where the edge of the tape is. You really don't want to have like a raised edge there. So. Ooh, I get quiet. I get quiet when I do details. Quiet. I wish I could hear y'all's comments. But how crazy would that be though? All of y'all talking at once. Hey, how are y'all hearing me tonight? Normally I wear a microphone, but last week I think it was, y'all said y'all could hear me better without the microphone. So I didn't wear it tonight. All right, so now I can go back and take this other stripe off, which I'm gonna do right here. And now our frame is really becoming visible. We have one stripe left, and then we would just do the other side. And this one does not have any of the frame in it at all, so I can just paint straight up and down, just like this. And like I said, I'll go back and do that underneath side. Oh, this white was a little bit wet still. I got a little bit of white in my stripe right there. That's okay. It's very Mackenzie Childs, right? To get a little bit of white in your stripe. A little bit of white, a little bit of gold. There we go. All right. So that's done. Let's pull this tape like so. Awesome. And one more. Isn't this so cute, you guys? This takes TV trays to a whole nother level. All right. All right. Looky here. Look how cute so far. Isn't it so cute? So cute. Who's that? Linda. Hello, Linda. You can hear me fine, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Doesn't it look good? I love it. Okay, so just so you know, oh, well, we have like 10 minutes left. We have 10 minutes. Let's keep painting. We'll keep painting and talking. Let's keep taping on the other side. Just using all that tape. All right, so I'm gonna have to re-put down another tape here because remember, I wanted you to see what it looked like, so I took all my tape off, but I need that tape to be there for this next stripe. So So I got to put some tape back down, just like that. There we go. Cutout pattern and traced it. Yes, I used my own cutout pattern that I've used for years. You can go back and watch the replay, as a matter of fact, and see how to make your own. It's really easy. It's like you're in elementary school all over again. Super, super easy. And something I've done for a really long time on furniture. And if you're late to the show, this is me making sure that my tape does not pull my paint off. Sometimes the tape is just really tacky. It also depends on the humidity in the area that you are. Depends on how long you've let your paint dry before you get busy. And y'all know me. Y'all know that I just put this fluff on here like right before we went live, right? I know that y'all know that. I know that y'all know that I was not like prepared by last night. I was prepared enough that I did my slick stick last night. Because I'm always thinking about Whimsical Wednesday. Hey, Bobby, how are you? I immediately soaked the brush in water before it dried. I noticed you don't. Carol, I'll have to go back. I can't push that button because I'm far away tonight. I don't know where you were going with that comment, but I have not had any problem. I don't leave my brushes for a long time. Like, during the show, like while I'm live, I will, but as soon as it's over, I go in there and I wash my brushes. And I use the scrubby because the scrubby soaps, I guess maybe they have coconut oil on them or something, but they also serve as a conditioner for my brushes. And I use the same brushes for a long time. But usually I'll have some water set aside here that I'll throw them into. So she's talking about when she used her slick stick, she immediately washed it. And if I do things live, I just stick it in a cup of water and then wash it as soon as I'm off the video. Okay, so for the anal people, you will see that my tape is going to be a little bit different than the other side. Totally okay with it. I don't care. Oh my God, I'm addicted to the scrubbies. I know, Wendy. Aren't they amazing? They're amazing. The orange is my favorite. Matt really likes the lime. He uses them too because they're at my shop sink. So he uses them when he's working too. You know, with whatever he's doing around the house, handymanning it around the house. Okay. So that is done. What did I do with my white? I'll just get a different one. Here's my white brush. Where's my fluff? All right, so I'm gonna burnish again. Gonna go back with my finger and make sure that my tape is secure because like I said, burnishing will not lay your tape down for you. You're gonna have to run your tape down with your finger first, all right? Then we take our little brush here and we just put a little bit of paint on each side of the tape. Now, when I go over to Tracey's Fancy, I've got soft pink. I'm gonna be using Dixie Belle's soft pink in the center of this, and I haven't quite decided if I'm gonna do polka dots in the middle or if I'm gonna stencil with a new stencil that I get to talk about. And I'm super excited that I get to say something about it, and I'm gonna do that over on Tracey's Fancy. I probably am gonna go with the, it's a damask. I'm probably gonna go with the damask only because this young lady is a tween, and I'm just not sure, I don't know how long polka dots will really work for her, you know? I don't know. I just felt like, I love damask. It's very romantic and feminine, can be very adult, but it's also very girly at the same time. So I'm really leaning toward the damask. Okay, so I'm burnishing my tape so that black won't run underneath. I'm using fluff, which is the same color as my base coat. So whatever your base coat is, burnish with the same color unless you're gonna use a clear coat of paint, okay? So y'all, these are such good ideas. These trays, not only for your kids or your grandkids, but for your parents, your grandparents, any grandparents that you have like that are home a lot and watching TV a lot. I mean, I feel like lots of people still use TV trays. I think it's a great idea. Okay, so let's warm this up. I think we can do this. I think we're gonna actually get the whole thing striped. Super excited about that. All right, got my heat gun. I'm gonna force dry it a little bit. Client, okay, oh yes, Debbie, thank you. Yeah, she ordered it off of Amazon and sent it directly to my house. A lot of things that I've done over the years, like the little girls dress up carts, have y'all seen those? I do a lot of this kind of stuff around the holidays. People will order them on Amazon and send them to me. Years ago, I would do it for them. I would say, oh, sure, you know, I can get that for you. I'll order it and it'll be this much. I just don't have the time to do that anymore. So now I'm just like, sure, I'll do it for you, but you got to find it and you got to ship and send it to me. And then my fee to paint it will be this. So for those of you business people out there, that's how I do that. And then of course they have to pay to have it shipped as well. But I try to have almost all of my work go local. I'm not a big fan of shipping anymore. I shipped furniture for years and years and years, and it about did me in. Not my favorite thing to do. Okay, so back with my caviar. Here we go. Just filling in the stripes. Gonna be careful right here by my little frame. Now, just so you know, when I paint the inside pink and I put my pattern on it, then I will frame out my frame. I won't just leave it with a bare. Always, if you're gonna do this, frame out your frame. So whether you use black, some sort of contrasting color, this one I'm probably gonna use a metallic silver because her gumball machine was accented in metallic silver. Remember, this is to match the very last gumball machine. If y'all haven't seen my gumball machines, you can find those over on my Facebook page as well, or Instagram if you follow me over on Instagram. I don't know if Dixie Belle has shared any of my gumball machines. Maybe they have. I'm not sure on their pages. Anyway, the very last one that I did was this one. It was very subtle, like subtle colors. I used French linen and soft pink and caviar and fluff. Those were the colors I used. So using those same colors here, I'm just not using French linen on the tray. I can't see this as well because I'm coming at it from another angle. Around like that. Straight out, there we go. I always kind of go back up towards the top and make my brush strokes go off in one direction. Let's get this last real big one down here on the side. Just like that. Remember I said the least amount of paint that you use, the better. That way you don't cause a ridge. Also, when you take your tape off sooner than later, like I showed you a minute ago, I'm not doing it right now because I think, you know, I'm in a rush. If you take your tape off sooner rather than later, you also have less of a chance of that little ridge. Woo, I did that fast. Did y'all see how fast I did that? So fast. That's how I really work all the time. Mach speed. I work at Mach speed. All right. That's that. We have 2 more spots and we can pull all this up. 1 and 1 more. And we did this whole thing, guys, in like 45 minutes. Well, not the whole thing. Okay, take that back because we did some of it. I did some of it ahead of time. But I mean, it's an easy, easy, easy project, y'all. It's so easy. Just pick colors that work well in whatever space your person will use them and make your little frame. You can put Nana in the middle of it or Gigi. I'm a Gigi. I'd be so happy to have a Gigi tray. Although I never sit down. I don't ever sit down and eat. So that wouldn't happen. I do sit down and eat, but not often enough. Okay. Oh my goodness. Think of all the things you could do on this, y'all. You can use, like, we're gonna in the middle, we're gonna do stencils. You could use transfers. You could use stamps. You could blend. So cute. And we finished just in time. Just in time. Look. Cute, right? Okay, so after I finish the whole thing, I will tell y'all before I go. Whenever I'm done with the whole thing, thank y'all. Thank you for the love. Whenever I'm done with the whole thing, I'll do the middle, I'll outline it, get her name done, all of that done. I will use gator hide on this piece. So I am probably going to do 3 thin coats of gator hide because it's our hardiest top coat that we have. And she'll be eating, drawing, all that kind of stuff on here. I think she uses it with her laptop as well. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Nancy. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Carol and Valerie. Thank you all for being here. Next week, I will not be back with the small, but you will see this posted in a few days on my page. What else can I tell you? Next week, I'll be back with those 2 Bombay nightstands. Very good size, very curvy Bombay nightstands. We're going to be doing some blending on those. So I will see y'all and blending in some very different artwork that she's having me paint on there. Like a little bit of an Asian flair hidden spot. Anyway, I look forward to doing that with you guys. Thank y'all so much. Keep your eye out for those crocodile nightstands that we started last week. Y'all are going to love them. You're going to love them. They'll be posted tomorrow night, okay? All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday night. And if anybody wants to hop over to Tracey's Fancy, I'll be over there. Thanks, you guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.